Good evening. This is All India Radio and I am Lalema Aneja Dang and with me is R.S. Raghu with the evening news. The headlines. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveils third tranche of 20 lakh crore economic package, focus on agriculture and allied activities. 1 lakh crore rupee agri-infrastructure fund to be set up for Farmgate infrastructure. 20,000 crore rupees Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana to be launched for development of marine and inland fisheries. 10,000 crore rupees scheme announced for formalization of 2 lakh micro-food enterprises. 500 crore rupees allocated for beekeeping initiatives to benefit 2 lakh beekeepers in rural areas. Domestic manufacturing reaches nearly 3 lakh PPEs and N95 masks each per day. Myanmar hands over 22 militants to India and total food grain production in the country estimated at record 295.67 million tons in 2019-20 crop year. Government has announced a 1.63 lakh crore rupee package for agriculture and allied sectors aimed at strengthening infrastructure, logistics and capacity building at Farmgate. Announcing the third tranche of an overall package of 20 lakh crore rupees to deal with the economic situation arising of COVID-19 pandemic, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced a 1 lakh crore rupee agri-infrastructure fund that will finance projects at Farmgate and aggregation point for efficient post-harvest management of crops.
We provide 1 lakh crore for aggregators, FPOs, primary agriculture cooperative societies, farmer-producer organizations which I mentioned, FPOs, all for strengthening the Farmgate infrastructure. Our cold chains, post-harvest management infrastructure, storage centers, yards from where they have to do it. So this fund being created.
Besides, schemes for micro-food enterprises, cattle vaccination, dairy sector, herbal plantation, beekeeping and fruits and vegetables were also announced. Ms. Sitharaman said the government will provide 1 lakh crore rupees for aggregators, farmers-producers organizations, primary agri-cooperative societies, agri-entrepreneurs and startups under the Agri-Infrastructure Fund. She informed that the fund will be created at the earliest. The minister stated that lack of adequate cold chain facilities and post-harvest management infrastructure in the vicinity of farm gates is causing gaps in the value chain. She announced 10,000 crore rupees fund for formalization of micro-food enterprises, MFEs. It will support 2 lakh micro-food enterprises for promoting health and wellness, herbal, organic and nutritional products. The Finance Minister also announced amendment to Essential Commodities Act to enable better price realization for farmers. The amendment will be largely towards deregulating certain crops like potatoes, cereals and onions. No stock limit shall apply for food processing units, value addition corporations and exporters. The government will also launch a 20,000 crore rupees Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana for the development of marine and inland fisheries. Of this, 11,000 crore rupees will be earmarked for activities in marine, inland fisheries and aquaculture, while 9,000 crore rupees for infrastructure creation such as fishing harbours, cold chain and markets. This will provide employment to over 55 lakh people and double exports to 1 lakh crore rupees.
The Finance Minister said the ongoing National Animal Disease Control Programme for foot and mouth disease and brucellosis will look at 100% vaccination of cattle, buffalo, sheep, goats and pigs against foot and mouth disease at an outlay of 13,343 crore rupees.
In order that we ensure 100% vaccination of all cattle, all buffalo, all sheep, all goat and pig population, nearly 53 crore animals. India is one of the largest livestock bearing countries. FMD has to be eradicated.
In addition to this, a 15,000 crore rupees Animal Husbandry Infrastructure Development Fund was announced to support private investment in dairy processing, value addition and cattle feed infrastructure. The government has launched a 4,000 crore rupee fund to promote herbal cultivation in about 10 lakh hectares of area. The scheme will help generate 5,000 crore rupees income for farmers. The minister said along the bank of Ganga, a corridor of medicinal plants will be developed over 800 hectares area.
We again refer to a speech by the Honorable Prime Minister where he had said on both the banks of the river Ganga, there can be herbal and medicinal plants grown so that it can benefit the local farm. And these medicinal and herbal plants are now in great demand globally also. So this board will undertake about 800 hectares of area which will form a corridor along both the sides of river Ganga for growing of herbal and medicinal plants.
Another 500 crore rupees has been earmarked for beekeeping initiatives helping 2 lakh beekeepers.
Beekeeping is an initiative which is recognized globally. It is not a very big amount when you're comparing several lakhs of crores, but it is an amount which is important that can be at a level of absorption capacity also. 500 crores for beekeeping initiatives which will benefit 2 lakh beekeepers in the rural areas.
The government extended Operation Greens from tomato, onion and potato to all fruits and vegetables by providing an additional fund of 500 crore rupees. This money would go into providing subsidy on transportation from surplus to deficient markets as well as on storages including cold storages. Ms. Sitaraman said the scheme will prevent distress sale by farmers.
Home Minister Amit Shah has said that Narendra Modi government believes that India's welfare lies in the welfare of the farmers. He said the unprecedented assistance given to farmers today shows Prime Minister Modi's foresight to make the country self-sufficient by empowering farmers. Congratulating Mr. Modi and Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman for the announcements, Mr. Shah said even in odd circumstances, the sensitivity of Mr. Modi towards farmers is exemplary for the whole world. Union Minister for Consumer Affairs, Food and Public Distribution, Ram Vilas Paswan, has said that Food Corporation of India has made all arrangements to dispatch additional food grains to the states for migrant workers under the scheme announced under Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman yesterday announced that all the states and union territories will be given additional food grains for the migrant labourers at the rate of 5 kilograms per migrant worker and 1 kilogram chana per family per month for 2 months. The allocation of food grains for May and June will be made free of cost for the purpose. Here's more from our correspondent.
Migrant labourers not covered under National Food Security Act or without a ration card in the states and UTs in which they are stranded at present will be eligible under the scheme. About 8 crore such migrant workers are expected to be benefited from the scheme. 8 lakh metric tons of food grains and 50,000 metric tons of chana will be allocated. About 3,500 crore rupees will be spent on this intervention, which will be fully borne by the central government. State governments will be responsible for the implementation of the scheme. During the lockdown period, the government is taking several measures to ease the hardship of all sections of society, including poor, migrants and stranded people. Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
The total food grain production in the country is estimated at record 295.67 million tons in the 2019-20 crop year, which is higher by 10.46 million tons from the previous year. Agriculture Ministry today released the third advance estimates of production of major crops for 2019-20. The total production of rice during 2019-20 is estimated at around 118 million tons. It is higher by over 8 million tons than the 5 years average production. Besides, the production of wheat is estimated at record over 107 million tons. It is higher by 3.58 million tons as compared to the previous year. The total production of pulses is estimated at over 23 million tons, which is higher by 2.19 million tons than the 5 years average production.
Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has expressed happiness that the government has decided to remove curbs on interstate sale of agri-produce and formulate a central law to provide adequate choices to farmers to sell their produce at attractive prices. In a tweet, Mr. Naidu said these reforms are long overdue and it will greatly benefit the farmers. He said deregulation to sell cereals, edible oils, oilseeds, potatoes and onions, and measures to strengthen agri-infra, fisheries, animal husbandry and micro-food enterprises will certainly boost agricultural growth and benefit both producers and consumers. Union Health Minister Dr. Harshvardhan today chaired the 15th meeting of Group of Ministers GOM on COVID-19 in New Delhi. During the meeting, the GOM had in-depth deliberation on containment strategy and management aspects of COVID-19, as well as the measures being taken by the centre and various states. The GOM was informed that domestic manufacturers have reached the production capacity of nearly 3 lakh PPEs per day and about 3 lakh N95 masks per day, which is sufficient to meet the requirement of the country in the near future. Also, over 18,000 ventilators are now available to combat COVID. Centre has also provided 84.22 lakh N95 masks and 47.98 lakh PPEs to state, union territories and central institutions. As on today, a total of 8,694 facilities comprising 919 dedicated COVID hospitals, 2,036 COVID health centres and 5,739 COVID care centres are available. The GOM was also informed that there are 30 municipal areas which constitute 79% of India's caseload. It discussed that the focus of COVID-19 management strategy needs to be on the states with highest number of confirmed cases and the highest number of fatalities, and on treatment and case fatality management. The GM also discussed the challenges before various states and union territories arising from the returning migrant labourers and the returnees from abroad. External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri and Minister of State for Home Nityanand Rai were among those who attended the meeting.
Health and Family Welfare Ministry has said that a total 27,920 patients have been cured from the novel coronavirus in the country and the recovery rate reached 34.06%. During the last 24 hours, 1,685 patients have recovered and 3,967 fresh confirmed cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the country. Total number of cases has risen to 81,970. A total of 100 deaths have been reported in one day, taking the nationwide toll to 2,649. The centre has allowed hiring of special buses by states and union territories to ferry passengers arriving at railway stations in view of the restrictions of public and private transport during the lockdown. The Home Ministry has said that under the standard operating procedure, to and fro movement of passengers from railway station to home has been allowed on the basis of confirmed e-tickets. The ministry said some of the state governments had requested to allow special buses to ferry the passengers arriving by train to their homes. Railways has said that more than 12 lakh passengers have reached their home states by Shramik special trains. Railway Ministry said more than 1,000 trains have been operationalized so far to take migrants home. Railways have started running Shramik special trains from the 1st of this month to move migrant workers, pilgrims, tourists, students and other persons stranded at different places due to lockdown. The ministry said Railways is ready to run 300 Shramik special trains per day to transport more than 4 lakh stranded people per day. These Shramik special trains are being run by Railways only after concurrence is given by both the states, which is sending the passengers, and the state which is receiving them. Proper screening of passengers is ensured before boarding the train. During the journey, passengers are given free meals and water.
The second phase of Vande Bharat mission is being launched from tomorrow to the 22nd of this month. In this phase, Indians from 31 countries will be brought back. In all, 149 flights including feeder flights will be deployed. Additional 18 countries have been covered under the second phase. These include Indonesia, Thailand, Australia, Italy, France, Germany, Ireland, Canada, Japan, Nigeria, Kazakhstan, Ukraine, Kyrgyzstan, Belarus, Georgia, Tajikistan and Armenia. Till now, over 1,88,000 Indian nationals have registered for return on the portal. A total of 56 flights have brought back Indian nationals from 12 countries under the Vande Bharat mission so far.
The second week of Vande Bharat mission will be both more extensive and exhaustive. The priority is being given for travel from abroad to compelling cases in distress, including migrant workers who have been laid off, people faced with expiry of short-term visas, those with medical emergency, pregnant women and elderly are also being given priority. The cost of travel will be borne by travellers. The first phase of operation under Vande Bharat mission began on 7th of this month. Under it, a detailed plan was chalked out to bring back around 15,000 stranded Indian nationals due to COVID-19 outbreak from 12 countries. Under the mission, Ministry of Civil Aviation is coordinating with Ministry of External Affairs and state governments for bringing Indians back to their homeland. With Bhupendra Singh, Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
Indian Navy ship INS Jalashwa has set off for Kochi today on its journey from Maldives capital Malé, carrying 588 residents of Kerala and Lakshadweep. It is expected to reach Kochi by Sunday morning. The ship is making its second trip back home from Maldives as part of Samudra Setu mission for evacuation of Indian nationals from foreign countries. The weather remained turbulent in Maldives since morning, and some passengers scheduled to reach Malé from far-off islands could not reach to board the ship. It was to originally carry around 700 people back. The travelling passengers include 70 ladies, 6 of them pregnant, and 21 children. Embarkation of passengers was carried out in advance amidst inclement weather in Malé and adhering to all safety precautions. The ship had earlier brought back 698 Indian nationals to Kochi on Sunday. Another ship, INS Magar, had reached Kochi on Sunday with 202 Indian nationals. Indian High Commission in Malé has said that Air India evacuation flights are being planned to cities of New Delhi, Bangalore, Mumbai and Chennai for residents of other states except Kerala. High Commissioner Sanjay Sudhir said that priority would be given to those facing deportation by Maldives government, medical emergency, pregnant women, elderly, stranded tourists and people affected by family emergencies like deaths.
Making the third evacuation voyage of INS Jalashwa from Malé to Kochi. Today it will be carrying about 588 Indian community members. I am very grateful to the Government of India to launch Operation Vande Bharat and to the Indian Navy to launch Operation Samudra Setu.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveils third tranche of 20 lakh crore economic package. Focus on agriculture and allied activities. 1 lakh crore rupee agri-infrastructure fund to be set up for Farmgate infrastructure. 20,000 crore rupees Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana to be launched for development of marine and inland fisheries. 10,000 crore rupee scheme announced for formalization of 2 lakh micro-food enterprises. 500 crore rupees allocated for beekeeping initiatives to benefit 2 lakh beekeepers in rural areas. Domestic manufacturing reaches nearly 3 lakh PPEs and N95 masks each per day. Myanmar hands over 22 million tons to India. Total food grain production in the country estimated at a record 295.67 million tons in 2019-20 crop year. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The Pan-India Electronic Agri-Produce Trading Portal, eNAM, has reached milestone of 1,000 mandis across 18 states and 3 union territories. Agriculture Ministry said 38 additional mandis were integrated with the eNAM platform today. National Agriculture Market, eNAM, was launched in 2016 with the aim of networking the existing mandis on a common online market platform as one nation, one market for agricultural commodities in the country. The online digital market aims at reducing transaction costs, bridging information asymmetries, and helping expansion of market access for farmers and other stakeholders. One nation, one market goal, facilitating farmers, traders and mandis to collectively work together as a cohesive unit to take nation towards online sale and purchase of agri-produce through eNAM portal. In the last 4 years, the ENAM has registered a user base of 1.66 crore farmers, 1.31 lakh traders, over 73,000 commission agents and more than 1,000 farmers producers organizations. Centre has decided to provide relief to establishments covered under EPF and MP Act 1952 from levy of penalty for delayed deposit of dues during lockdown. Ministry of Labour and Employment in a statement said that considering the difficulty faced by the establishments in timely deposit of contributions or administrative charges due for any period during lockdown, Employees Provident Fund Organisation EPFO has decided that such delays will not be treated as default and penal damages should not be levied. The ministry said that a circular has been issued to field offices of EPFO containing instructions to the effect that no proceeding will be initiated for levy of penal damages in such cases. It said the step will ease the compliance norms for 6.5 lakh EPF covered establishments. In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, Bandipora District Administration has allowed the residents of Gurez Valley to move to their homes who had stranded in Bandipora during the lockdown period following the coronavirus pandemic. These people were screened by a team of doctors before allowing them to proceed to their respective destination. Our Srinagar correspondent has the details.
613 residents of Gurez Valley who had got stranded in Bandipora due to the prevailing lockdown were allowed to return to their homes yesterday in 75 vehicles. The passengers were allowed to proceed only after getting screened by a team of doctors. The vehicles carrying the passengers were also thoroughly fumigated before proceeding to Gurez Valley. The passengers shall also have to undergo this mandatory quarantine period. Though Gurez Bandipora road was opened for traffic earlier this month, but the entry of the people into the Gurez Valley was banned as a precautionary measure amid COVID-19 pandemic situation. This is Sunil Kohl for AR News from Srinagar.
Kerala reports a rise in COVID-19 cases as 16 more positive cases were confirmed today. More from our correspondent.
Among the fresh cases, 7 people returned from abroad, 4 from Chennai and 2 from Maharashtra. Presently, the total active cases rose to 80 in Kerala. Chief Minister Venkaiah Vijayൻ said that there is a situation of concern as the fear of community spread still exists. He said that the preventive measures will be strengthened across the state, surveillance will be strengthened at all checkposts, and strict action will be taken against those violating quarantine guidelines. Bike patrolling by police officials will be done daily in areas to monitor the people under quarantine. Ward level committee will be entrusted with the task of monitoring and reporting ground level situation. Complete lockdown on all Sundays will be strictly continued. Mayusha for AR News from Thiruvananthapuram.
In Madhya Pradesh, 3,12,000 migrant labourers have returned to the state from different states so far. Out of these, 86,000 labourers have returned through 72 trains, while remaining 2,26,000 labourers have come through buses and other mode of transport. The government is making every effort to provide employment to the workers of the state.
At present, more than 17 lakh labourers have got work under the MG Narega in the state. Officials informed that last year only 11 lakh labourers got work under MG Narega, while more than 6 lakh needy people have been linked with these work during the corona crisis. Apart from this, more than 80,000 labourers have been sent to their home district, while all arrangements have been made to send more than 10,000 labourers to their home states. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan called on former Chief Ministers Digvijay Singh, Kamal Nath and Uma Bharti to know their views regarding the nature and future of the lockdown. He also briefed them on the efforts being taken for corona control, arrangements being made to provide relief to the common people, and steps being taken to provide employment to labourers in the state. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
In our series, Experts Speak on All India Radio, we bring you the views of leading experts on COVID-19. Talking to AIR News, Member Health in Niti Aayog, Dr. V.K. Paul, urged everyone to follow social distancing in order to break the transmission.
We ensure that there is universal social distancing. We ensure that the transmission chain of this deadly virus is broken once and for all. And the only effective way forward for us is to conform to the guidelines of ensuring fullest possible social distancing through lockdown.
Actor Anil Kapoor has appealed to people to come together in the fight against COVID-19 outbreak. He has appealed to people to respect social distancing norms and take all precautions against the virus.
जैसे कि आप सब जानते हैं कि हम कोरोना वायरस नामक महामारी के बीच में, और अगर हमें अपने आप को और अपनों को सुरक्षित रखना है तो हमें एक साथ मिलकर कुछ करना है। हमारा एक छोटा कदम अनगिनत जिंदगियों को बचा सकता है।
Myanmar Army today handed over 22 militants from northeast India, including top UNLF and NDFB commanders, to India. These militants hail mostly from Assam and Manipur. The handing over of the insurgents by Myanmar Army is part of the united operations carried out by India and Myanmar against the separatist outfits in Myanmar. The militants were brought by a special flight, and the entire operation was led by National Security Advisor Ajit Doval.
In order to give a boost to domestic defence and aerospace manufacturing, Defence Minister Rajnath Singh has approved the launch of Defence Testing Infrastructure Scheme DTIS with an outlay of 400 crore rupees for creating state-of-the-art testing infrastructure for this sector. The scheme would run for the duration of 5 years and envisages to set up 6 to 8 new test facilities in partnership with private industry. This will facilitate indigenous defence production, consequently reduce imports of military equipment and help make the country self-reliant. The projects under the scheme will be provided with up to 75% government funding in the form of grant in aid. Now, weather report from across the country. The report covers details from every corner of the country, highlighting extreme weather conditions and temperatures of various places from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, Gilgit to Guwahati, Baltistan to Port Blair. A report.
The maximum temperature in the national capital stood at 39 degrees Celsius. Delhi witnessed partially cloudy sky. The minimum temperature settled at 24 degrees Celsius. Mumbai saw a mainly clear sky becoming partially cloudy towards afternoon with maximum temperature of 36 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature settled at 27 degrees Celsius. In Kolkata, the maximum temperature was 38 degrees Celsius and the minimum temperature settled at 28 degrees Celsius. The city witnessed a partially cloudy sky. Chennai experienced the maximum temperature of 36 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature of 28 degrees Celsius with a generally cloudy sky and light rain. Jammu witnessed partially cloudy sky and the maximum temperature was recorded at 33 degrees Celsius and the minimum temperature was 18 degrees Celsius. Srinagar experienced thunderstorm with rain with maximum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature of 10 degrees Celsius. Gilgit faced thunderstorm with rain. Maximum temperature experienced was 23 degrees Celsius and the minimum temperature settled at 14 degrees Celsius. Muzaffarabad experienced a partially cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening or night. Maximum temperature settled at 29 degrees Celsius and minimum temperature settled at 12 degrees Celsius. This is Diksha Saxena, News Desk.
The onset of southwest monsoon over Kerala this year is likely to be delayed by 4 days. According to the India Meteorological Department, the monsoon is expected to hit the southern state by 5th of June with a model error of plus or minus 4 days. The onset of monsoon over Kerala marks the official commencement of the 4-month rainfall season in the country.
Information and Broadcasting Minister Prakash Javadekar today stated that curbing fake news does not impinge on press freedom. In an article in several news dailies, Mr. Javadekar said rumours are spread widely as news with dangerous consequences and government is committed to battling it. The minister said there is always a debate about how much freedom the press enjoys in a country. He pointed out that in India, the only time press freedom was muzzled was during the emergency. The News Services Division of All India Radio in its bilingual live phone-in program tonight will bring you a special discussion program on COVID-19. This can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:25 p.m. onwards. Listeners can ask questions to the experts on toll-free number 1800-115767. And now, before we end, the headlines once again. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman unveils third tranche of 20 lakh crore economic package focused on agriculture and allied activities. 1 lakh crore rupee agri-infrastructure fund to be set up for Farmgate infrastructure. 20,000 crore rupees Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana to be launched for the development of marine and inland fisheries. 10,000 crore rupees scheme announced for formalization of 2 lakh micro-food enterprises. 500 crore rupees allocated for beekeeping initiatives to benefit 2 lakh beekeepers in rural areas. Domestic manufacturing reaches nearly 3 lakh PPEs and N95 masks each per day. Myanmar hands over 22 militants to India, and total food grain production in the country estimated at record 295.67 million tons in 2019-20 crop year. And with that, we end the evening news.